Disney says, you did such a wonderful job with your no holds barred Avengers story. Now we're going to give you free reign of the Star Wars universe. You can bring back characters we thought were dead and undo previous trilogies, JJ style, if you want. You can do anything that you want to do with the Star Wars universe. Where are you setting your story? Who's going to be in it?
I want a Luke Skywalker YA novel. I want 15-year-old Luke.
like before he gets that message from R2D2.
Pre A New Hope. It's him on Tatooine. I just love Luke Skywalker a lot. I love Anakin, but Luke is my dopey farm boy of my heart. He tries so hard. He's just, and I think that's another one where it's there's so much story to tell. I love Ahsoka, but I think I would have trouble telling Ahsoka's story. So there are other writers I want to write Ahsoka. But Luke, I would love to get my hands on Luke because he's just so sweet and such a teen boy. I was going to go to the power converters. I want to write that kid.
Just hanging out with his power converters and staring off at the multiple suns every day. And I assume somewhere in there you have to tease his force or his force powers.
Sure.
Just like a moment where the glass disappears between him and the snake, and oh my god.
Totally.
I like it. I would want to read your story.
It's basically a slice of life Luke Skywalker story.
You wouldn't want to bring. I mean, obviously you couldn't. Well, if he's 15, maybe he goes to whatever dance there is on what planet's he on, the desert planet?
Tatooine.
Tatooine, yes.
Yeah.
So he goes to they wouldn't call it the Tatooine prom, but whatever the prom is for Luke Skywalker, and maybe Han Solo's there as somebody's date, and they don't really know each other that well because you want to bring in somebody, right?
The other one that I'm fascinated by, and again, I don't know that I'm the person to write this. I think there are other writers who could do it, is there's clearly a time overlap where Leia and Cassian Andor were both working the rebellion at the same time, and I desperately want that meeting. I want to see the two of them interact so badly. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but I really want it.
There was kind of an announcement. I don't know if it's been 100% confirmed, but I keep reading that Donald Glover is going to do the Lando Calrissian TV show.
I saw that tweet. I looked it up and I was I don't see any official sources saying this, so I left it alone. I don't know. I loved Donald Glover as Lando. I would love to see him come back as Lando. I thought he seemed like he was having a great time, and he just filled that cape so nicely. It was great.
They do the younger Obi-Wan story.
Man.
Which I assume will be the depressing years between the...
I'll take Ewan McGregor back as Obi-Wan any day of the week, though.
Is there a scenario in which those two could, those series could cross over? I mean, I know that there's a narrow window where the time frame's got to be right, yeah?
I don't know. They've done the Lucasfilm Story Group has done a really, really good job of kind of finding pockets of time to tell stories. So I have no idea. I'm sure the conversations are happening and they're figuring it out. But I trust in them in terms of, I feel like I was so wonderfully surprised by how great The Mandalorian was. Not that I didn't think it was going to be good, but I didn't know what to expect. And it was so good in the way that Star Wars Rebels is one of the best Star Wars stories I think that exists. And it's not about any of our main heroes. It's not about, it's about the wider world. And I think that's what Star Wars does really well. So I totally trust for them to if there's a way to do it that makes sense and doesn't feel cheap, I think they would do it. Well,
they're definitely going to now because they're listening and they're going to be sending notification right away. We heard your pitch and we love it. We want to do it. 15-year-old Luke Skywalker. That book's coming out next year.
Stop begging to do this book on every podcast you go on.
Then they're going to say, Kent, we were going to offer you something, but we heard you hadn't watched the Clone Wars. Get out of here. I watched all the Mandalorian, though, esteemed audience. I promise. Loved it.